Hey, and welcome to this video. I almost called this video Ugly Dogs because I struggled so much with these practice attempts. But just to give you some background, this is a practice attempt. Actually, it's 3 different practice attempts on the same dog. And this is a lesson from a course that I purchased off of Enterclass.com. I'll link it below. But basically, it is a course that has 4 lessons in it, and each lesson is a dog or a cat. And I have a previous video that I did, and it was called Watercolor Practice Mice of the Dog. And I painted that dog 4 times. And all of this is in an attempt to learn how to paint in a really, really loose, wet on wet style that this instructor that teaches this course is able to paint in, and I love it. And this is me really pushing my own boundaries to try and paint this way because it's not something that I'm very good at or used to. And so that's mainly the reason why I bought this course. And I've only ever gone through that first lesson, and this is the second lesson, and I finally got around to doing it. And like the first lesson, I had to make several attempts at this just because it was such a disaster the first time, and you'll see that in my first attempt. So it was just so bad, and I have a really hard time getting the hang of this style. And even though I want to kind of learn it, and it's not so much that I want to emulate his style exactly, it's just that I feel like there are aspects of this style that would lend itself to the way that I ultimately want to paint, or the way that the picture that I have in my head of what I want to come out on paper. I feel like there are a lot of aspects of painting in this very, very wet style that would be really beautiful to adopt. And so I'm sort of taking it to the extreme by trying to paint in a completely loose and wet style by following these lessons. And so every single time I sit down and paint like this, or follow, the previous lesson, and now even in this one, it's such a struggle. And I'm glad I didn't give up on the attempts. I actually at least finished them all the way until the end, but man, I really wanted to stop in the middle just because it was just ugly in my mind. It just didn't look great. So it's, ugly is I guess it's a subjective term. And if I objectively look at it, I guess at least it looks like a dog. And my sketch started out okay. But then if you look at it compared to the instructor's final product, and also the reference photo, it isn't quite there for me. And I really, in my head, want it to look a lot more like the instructor's result. Not because I want to paint like him, like I said, but that I want to be able to adopt more of the techniques that he's using. And I'm finding that it's really hard for me. And it might just be because I like to paint a little bit more detailed, or that I'm still learning the hang of drying times and my paper and when I should go in, because I notice that when I'm doing this, sometimes I'm not waiting long enough for the paint to dry, like the wet background to dry before I go in there with more paint. And sometimes I wait too long. And so I don't know if that's what it is, or if there's something else. But as I was painting these, I kind of realized also how difficult it is to take a photograph or something in real life that is very, very detailed and then abstract it and make it really simple. Because I think I tend to try and paint more details or capture more details than you really need to, at least for animals. I guess it depends also on the subject. I'm not quite sure. I find that we're always discovering more about ourselves as we paint. And so number one, I don't really paint. Well, I haven't really painted so many animals that I'm completely comfortable, but I've painted them enough to kind of understand where I fall in the spectrum of how detailed I get. And I can, depending on the situation, go very, very loose and abstract. And sometimes I just get too detailed. And I think sometimes with this, it's like my mind is telling me that this is a very loose style. And so what I learned from doing these 3 attempts was, in my mind, I said, to myself that this is a very loose style, which means that I need to paint fast and I need to paint with really broad brushstrokes. But by the time I got to the third attempt, and after watching the instructor's video repeatedly, I realized that sure, there are very broad brushstrokes when you're first laying down all the colors, but there's actually a lot of little minute details that he goes back and adds. And then I noticed that in what I believe is my most successful attempt, which is the third one, I feel like I went back and I spent a little bit more time just adding details in a different way, like adding details at the very end and not fussing with it so much while I was painting kind of the base of it. And so I think I also learned that it's important to let the painting be awkward and know that it has this ugly stage that it goes through in order to get to the end. And so I don't know, like I'm still learning this style. I'm still trying it. I don't actually feel like my third attempt was even all that great. I think it was better than the first two, and I can see what I learned from them, but I still didn't feel completely comfortable painting in this style. And I think deep down that it's just because it's not my natural style to paint in. And I definitely do have a natural style. And I'm curious whether or not if I just let myself paint this dog, like in my own style without using the kind of techniques that are taught in the lesson, whether or not I would be able to paint something that I was more happy with. And I just have to mention also that this class is in Russian and I don't speak Russian. And so I sort of feel like he's probably dropping a lot of juicy bits of knowledge about how to paint in his style as he's speaking, as he's going through the lesson, that I just can't understand. And so I imagine that if I could understand what he was saying, this actually might come a little bit easier. And so I don't know. There's a lot of factors at play here. But that being said, I was driven enough to try this, the 3 times. And then I don't know if I'd be able to do it again. I think, you get to a point where you try it enough times and then you realize that you're done with it. And I got to the point where I wasn't really having fun anymore. And I know that if I tried to paint it a 4th time, I'm not sure if it would come out good. And that's because my heart wouldn't be in it. But I'm really happy that I at least tried it these 3 times. There are 2 more lessons in the course, and they're both cats. And I plan to finish them, but I don't know how many times I'll attempt them. It might just be one of those, like, let me paint it and see what I get out of it. But I don't know if I have it in me to try to perfect it, or maybe I've learned enough that by the time I do them, they will not take 3 attempts in order to get something I'm happy with. And so anyways, that being said, I think that there's value in everything that we do. And this just is also a reminder to me, and I hope it's a reminder to you as you see how I've struggled through the first 2 and ended up at the third, is that it doesn't matter really where you start, because we all start somewhere. And maybe you think that my first attempt was like, I know there are people that, when I criticize myself, they always say, oh, your first attempt is better than anything I could ever do. And I don't think that's true. I think we are capable of so many things, and it's just about whether or not we want to do it and whether or not we are inspired and motivated and determined enough to do these things, and also whether or not we want, like, I guess it's like if we find joy in doing them. And so, like I mentioned, I don't doubt that, if I spent many hours practicing and I kept doing these types of paintings over and over, that I would be able to get to a level where I'm painting similar to the instructor, because if you practice, you're going to get better. But the thing is I don't know if I love it enough to do it. And so if my heart's not in it, I am not going to force myself to try and paint in a style that doesn't come naturally to me or that I don't enjoy painting. So I really do think that there's, like I said, there's value in learning how to paint like this if it's something that you want to incorporate into your own style. And so for me, I do. There are certainly aspects of painting wet on wet that are so beautiful, and I really want to be able to incorporate more of it into my own work without feeling like it's rolling the dice every time, because that's sort of how I feel sometimes with this style. It's kind of like I want to do wet on wet, and I kind of know how it'll turn out, but I don't know 100%. And honestly, with watercolors, there's never you're going to know 100% how something's going to turn out, just because that's the nature of watercolors. Watercolors move a lot, and water's not controllable, really. It's not. And unless, you're using very little water. But when you use a lot of water like this, it's very hard to control. And so you can't always predict the outcome. And I have to be okay with that. But there is a level of experience that I want to have. It's almost like muscle memory, that where I've done this enough, where I've painted enough wet on wet that, and I've used, a particular paper enough to know, you just have sort of a sense of, I feel like this is what I'll get eventually is a sense of drying times, a sense of like timing, right? So it's like when I should go in and lay down the paint, or how often I should, or how long I should wait. And so I noticed in the instructor's video that he had used a hair dryer, and a lot of people do. They use blow dryers to kind of speed up the drying process, but there's no way for me to tell how long he dried it, how dry is dry enough, or how wet is wet enough. In my own second attempt, I actually used a hair dryer just to try it out, and I ended up drying it too much, and then it was weird, and I didn't know what I was doing, really. So it's funny that, I know there's techniques there, but I don't actually, know the timing. And so in any case, I hope that this video was helpful for you. I hope that was fun seeing my bad attempts and my good attempts. And if you like this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications if you want to know when a new video comes out. I try to release them weekly, so I'll see you in the next one.